Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. So what do we got cooking? Markets continue to trade sideways here on the weekly and the daily charts. At the end of the day, the question is, of course, is this sideways action indicative of a top that's setting up, or is this just the market kind of resting and relaxing before it can build up a squeeze and get something going? And I, I've said this before, but I think the biggest thing that we got to watch at this point is the transportation sector. And you can see here that the transportation sector actually rolled over here and continues to make new lows, and it's a huge red flag. At this point, we have a weekly squeeze with a short that's in full-blown operation here, and a daily squeeze that's about to go, looking for it to be driven down to the bottom of this channel. Biggest question I often get is, well, how can I take advantage of that? There is an ETF. If I can type it in correctly, there is a ETF here that will follow it exactly. It's just thin. While it does trade 730,000 shares here today, the options are kind of thin. However, I've still traded them and it's fine. There obviously are transportation stocks too. So I know Federal Express here at one point kind of bucked the trend, but now it's starting to roll back over. But there are, of course, individual transportation stocks. I just think that's the biggest issue we've got right now. And if you're going to be long something, you want to be long something that's bucking the trend, okay? So one question is we always get is, how do you find stocks that are bucking the trend? And as we continue to develop out the scanner, now we've got two scanners here, okay? And actually these probably should be different tabs, but so we have one scanner here. This is the one that we originally started off with, and we have one group that makes this, okay? And then there's another scanner, which is this one, and this is a completely different group that focuses on this. So we're pulling data from different spots. So on our end, they're essentially they have to be set up differently. And what we're going to be doing is essentially expanding out both of these scans. So this group here, we do it, and it's the same thing. This is the $47 a month scanner, and then we do the same thing here, $47 a month scanner. And what we're going to be doing with these is continuing to build out this one. There's some new updates coming out to it, and then this newest one, new updates coming out to it as well. Depending on your type of trading, most of you guys have this one already. I'll show you a few things on this one. This one is essentially this scanner right here has a much smaller database actually, and it's limited to the 250 or so best fundamentally driven stocks according to like Investors Business Daily and all those fundamental readings. So this isn't something where we're going to be looking for short trades or anything like that. We're actually running scans on stocks that have already been cleared for having the best fundamentals on the planet. And then what we can do from here, like this growth 250, I like to come here and say, all right, let's look for new 52-week highs. And from this, then what I like is, let's scrunch it up a little bit. We can go, all right, well, let's sort it by short percent of float. So we can see here that here's some stocks that have been in here now, LGND. Okay, so that comes up, and I like here that it's got a low float, and a high percentage of that low float is short. And what can happen with that is that it can actually turn into potential exponential moves. So even though right now the stock market is obviously having problems, this stock doesn't care, and in fact, it's doubled in the last couple of months. And at this point, because of the increasing short interest, I don't see that changing anytime soon. AMBA also hit the same thing there. Okay, so it's pretty. I mean, it's a great guy. It used to take me hours to find stuff like that. Okay, and that's great. And then you can also, of course, you can do the same thing for these $10 stocks. And then another one that I like here is that finding daily squeezes. Okay, same thing. So daily squeezes on one of these top 250 fundamental stocks on the planet. They're already in there. It's updated every week with the most up-to-date stocks. And it's like, okay, so here's one that's got great fundamentals, only 28 million shares outstanding, and 7 million of those are short, and it's got options, and the short interest is 32%. Awesome. So let's come over here and let's see what that one looks like. Of wow, this thing has popped up and it's pulling back, and that looks something that's interesting too. So just to kind of give you an idea. And then for those of you that aren't familiar with the other group of scanners, like, for example, the intraday scans are great. You can come down here and say, all right, what's on the 195-minute chart, what's something that's continuing to go here? I typically like to sort by volume. MTG, okay, so let's take a look at MTG and what's going on here. And okay, great, you got this great move here, et cetera, et cetera. And then the nice thing about this scan as well is that it's not just limited to the top 250 growth stocks. It's actually all the stocks in the universe out there, so you can scan both bullish plays and bearish plays. So if we're looking for something that's bearish, let's get a little bit more focus on the bearish side here. And ExxonMobil, EOG, if you bring up EOG, at this point, this is going to be a stock that specifically is setting up to keep on going. You got a turbo short set up, and it just saves so much time. So anyway, I just want to kind of go through that and show you guys those. So each one of these are two different scanners. I'll give you the links if you're interested in it. What's nice about it, it's web-based. It doesn't matter what platform you have. Once you sign up, you just can go use the internet and find this stuff, and then just use it on your own account, which is great. So for the two different scanners, if you are interested in the Blueprint 250, and remember this is the one that has essentially it's already pre-filtered for the top 250 best fundamentals, best fundamental stories, i.e. fastest earnings per share growth quarter over quarter, you name it. Those are the fastest growing company, and that database is automatically updated every week, and then we have the ability to run those scans on it. So simplerstocks.com/blueprint scanner. And then the other one, which was the original one that we had created, it's essentially all stocks, long and short, and that's simplerstocks.com/scanner. So that's going to actually go through all the stocks out there in the universe and find things like turbo Porsche setups, both long and short. It's also got some good intraday scans, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so you can go to those links. You can find out more about them. I personally use them every day. They're a huge time saver, and that's what they're meant to be. Okay, hope it helps. You guys have a fantastic trading day, and we'll see you at the next update.